Hey guys, so this is the tips for Tooth Fairy, the second green impromptu character that I'm covering. For tips 1, which is generic for all impromptu character, ensure impromptu has at least 20 inspiration every round. For tips 2 is regarding Tooth Fairy Bad Tooth, because Bad Tooth now is a very good debuff and it can goes up to 5 stack at P0, and you really want to try to ensure there are at least 5 stacks on the enemy. If it's not 5, maybe go for 4. And to do that, you need to consume Eureka. Every 4 Eureka that you consume, she will inflict 1 stack of Bad Tooth. So 5 stacks means 20 Eureka. So for context here, Keeperina at the start of the round will consume 4 Eureka to cast 2 shields. And that will give Tooth Fairy able to inflict 1 Bad Tooth. Using non-paper heron incantation for impromptu units only. Okay, like Tooth Fairy. If you use Tooth Fairy skill, she will consume 2 Eureka, and Paper Heron will also consume 2 Eureka. Okay, so 4 Eureka consume 1 more Bad Tooth. So if you allocate 3 AP to use incantation that is not Paper Herons, then you can get 3 Bad Tooth. So with Keeperina, there's already 4. So now you are having 5 AP. If you have used 3 to cast non-Paper Herons incantation, you have 2 more AP, and you can use that to cast Paper Herons incantation, and that will only consume 2 Eureka per use. So 2 uses, 4 Eureka. In that case, you will get the 5th stack of Bad Tooth. Okay, but if you just use 4 non-paper herons incantation, then you will already have gotten the 5 stacks. Tip 3, which I already mentioned in paper herons as well. So prioritize increasing the attack instances of impromptu until it hit the cap, then focus on increasing its damage. So compared to other impromptu, Tooth Fairy Ultimate also contribute the highest damage to the overall damage. Yeah, because the other impromptu units ultimate usually is not really an attack, is to trigger some effect like giving inspiration, maintaining buff. So it doesn't really do damage, but Tooth Fairy actually does. Okay, because she will take all the impromptu's damage and convert that into Genesis damage. So let's say if you have 3 enemies, 2 enemies, let's say there are 3. You use Tooth Fairy Ultimate on the boss. But now impromptu is going to attack all 3, and each of it is dealt 100,000 damage. So total is 300. So 30% of that will be inflicted on the enemy as Genesis. Okay, so it takes the total, even the damage that you inflict on other enemy that you did not aim or attack using Tooth Fairy's ultimate. Alright, tips 5. Since she will be using her incantation the most, because you want to use her ultimate as much as you can, there is a lot of damage there. So use Adio Coda on Tooth Fairy, so that all of incantation now will automatically plus 1 attack instance. So if she used 2, that's 2 attack instance. So S1 is now 2 attack instances to impromptu, and using S2 is 1 attack instant plus 20% damage dealt. So both are really good. Tip 6, use her S1 every round for AP plus 1, unless it's a portray 1 Tooth Fairy, then use it every 2 rounds. As for tip 7 is a rotation. So again, Tooth Fairy uses out. If you can, you want to use her out as much as possible. For a more comfortable rotation, I would actually recommend a 3-round rotation. So let's assume you already gotten her out the first time. So in round 1, out S1, S2, round 2, S1 and S2, round 3, S1. Technically, S2, you can use it in round 2 or also can use it in round 3, because either way, she will get 5 Moxie and then she can use her out again. So basically from here, repeat round 1 to round 3. For Portrait 2 and above, you can consider a 2-round variance for her rotation. Why I mentioned P2 and above? Because at P2, Bad Tooth lasts for 2 rounds. Or else your Bad Tooth only lasts for 1 round. So you have to really consume as much Eureka as you can to maintain that debuff. And if you go for this shorter rotation, then you may not consume enough Eureka to inflict 5 stacks of Bad Tooth, because moving or merging incantation doesn't provide any Eureka at all. Okay, yeah. So, but anyway, if you're having like P2, 2 fairy and above, you can consider 2 round variants. So, variance 1 is that like after you ult, then you use S1 and S2. And then in the next round, if you have the opportunity, you can merge it. So, merging gives 2 Moxie, and then you use one of the incantation, which will give you your 5th Moxie. Variance 2 is instead of merge, you move, but you have to use both S1 and S2. So, you are actually using 3 AP here, whereby the first variance you only use 2 AP. One is that you move to merge, and then you use 1 to attack. Okay, so do note that moving and merging reduces inspiration and also Eureka consumption, which can reduce impromptu's damage. One more thing to keep in mind is that if you go for 2 round rotation, it can be quite restrictive, because sometimes when there is an out or there is an enlist out also together on the field and you try to reset, you just can't get 2 copy of 2 fairy S1 and S2. And let's say in the next round there's also another character's ultimate there, and then you try to reset, you may also not get 2 fairy incantation. And for the merging one, you actually need 3 copy of 2 fairy incantation for you to merge, which can be difficult to achieve. So here I recommend, if you really want to go for the shorter variants, use Unfinished Tune. But one problem is that if you have Annelie also you must use her S1 every round or her ultimate. And then Paper Heron also have some rotation, even though it's every 4 round, but you still need to allocate AP for her. Yeah, so if you are bringing Ann and Lee together in the party, I wouldn't really suggest Unfinished Tune. Use back First Melody and go for 3 round rotation. So here, if you really want to use this Unfinished Tune, then the best support for that is Mercuria. So Mercuria just have to stand there, provide all the incantation might, crit damage, all those stuff, and allow Impromptu to hit hard without doing much. Okay? But do consider using her Mercuria's S2 occasionally for the crit buff. Okay? Lastly, for tips 9, for Mercuria, remove her Euphoria and let her stand there. Use her S2 if needed. So why remove her Euphoria? So the reason here is that her Euphoria now, every start of the round, she will randomly increase the rank of one of her incantation. So you might think that is really good, yes, because now there's more higher rank incantation, and when you reset, you can end up getting like Paper Herons rank 2 or 2 Fairy rank 2 incantation, which is more potent. However, this rank up to me is a nuisance, because let's say if you have 2 of Mercuria's incantation that is the same, and it's just in a gap of 1 to 2 incantation that maybe belongs to fairy, so you can use both, and then that both incantation Mercuria's will merge, giving us more Verdant Moxie, and then allowing more cards to come in the next round, making things more flexible. But now if like it automatically rank up, then you have a rank 2 buff, for example, then you have a rank 1 buff. Even if you put them side by side, they can't merge because it's just not the same. Okay, so at certain point, it may end up clogging up your entire AP spell dock, because you just cannot remove it fast enough. Okay, so that is the downside. And not only that, like if you get lucky, you get a rank 3 Mercuria's incantation. And if you use that, then in the next round, you will have a precast rank 3 Mercuria incantation. And then now if you use Unfinished Tune to create a second incantation, because sometimes you are hoping that the first few incantation can also merge, Now you can't because Mercuria's rank 3 incantations blocking the way. Yeah, so overall, I don't like Mercuria Euphoria for this team. So just remove it. In terms of the buffing capability, Mercuria without Euphoria is the same. Okay? Yeah, so that's all for this tips. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.